All right, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. This is CharlesEllroy. We've got AKVE versus Striking Vipers tonight for you. We're going to get into the game here shortly as both teams get finished loading up. All right, and the game has begun. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, I'm CharlesEllroy, and we've got Striking Vipers and AKVE going at it tonight. Bans are coming through, and they're coming through quickly. From the side of Striking Vipers, we're going to see Aurelia, Aurelion Soul, and Nunu all getting the ban for this first half of the phase here. On the side of AKVE, we're going to see Thresh ban, which I like a lot. Zhyn and Camille, strong bans coming out of the side of AKVE. The Karma is going to be the B1 priority pick for the side of Striking Vipers. Great poke lane champion, can be flexed in a couple different roles right now. And same thing with Lee Sin, so I like what I'm seeing here so far. They haven't quite locked it in, but I think it's what they're going to go with, yeah. Let's see what AKVE decides to do with the R2 pick. They put the prio on Lee Sin. Likely going to go jungle, but it could be flexed over to the top lane as well, so I like that they're not showing too much here. The same thing with the Karma pick as well. Taking it down to the wire. And we're going to see the Seraphine locked in. Seraphine's a very strong pick right now. I like it. And the Ezreal almost insta-locked. Ezreal very good, pairs well with the Karma, and I absolutely love the Divine Sunder build. And we're going to see Tahm Kench locked in as the third pick for this first half of the pick ban phase. Tahm Kench is a great top laner right now. He offers a lot of durability, a lot of mobility as far as his kit goes. With the rework here, he's also able to do a lot of damage in lane. Pair that with a Karma and Ezreal, and in a team fight, you've got a nice front line as well as some serious poke coming out. I like the Seraphine Misfortune. The combo from their ultimates does a lot of damage. The charm into the bullet time is just unreal. So I like what we're seeing here. The next set of the bans are going to come through with AKVE getting the first ban off in this series here. Nocturne, another strong ban. Nocturne is pairs very well with different alts like the Shin alt, the Galio alt, and can absolutely swing a skirmish into a team fight without you realizing it. So wise choice to ban him out of there. We're going to see the Darius ban as well coming in from the side of Striking Vipers. And Kassadin is going to be the last ban here. And then Oriana. Oriana, a very strong team fighter, great mid laner, so I like to see her taken out of the equation. It makes the picks really interesting as well. We might be able to see a Victor game here. I even saw a Yasuo game last night from some teams, so I like what I'm seeing here as far as the bans go. It's going to make for interesting picks in the last set. The R4 pick coming up here as they're going to get to start the second half of the pick section off. And we've got an Ornn locked in. Great top laner, and I love Ornn because of the golden flux you get at level 13 when he starts being able to upgrade abilities. Each one of those items around 1,000 gold worth of extra stats. So it really is a huge boost for a team to have an Ornn there. Plus, he is just a tanky boy after a while. Great engage, so I like what we're seeing from the side of AKVE. The last pick going to come through. Sylas is locked in. I love the Sylas pick. Very strong with the Everfrost into the Abductive Scond and Kingslayer. Even though it was nerfed here recently, he is still going to just tear people up. And Volibear going to be the last lock-in for the jungle. I like the side of Striking Vipers. A good front-to-back team fight setup. Very strong laners, also very strong team fight. I really like the side of Striking Vipers and what they've got going on. Let's see what the final answer is going to be for AKVE. We're going to get to see a Ryze game, everybody. I love the Ryze pick. We don't always get to see the Ryze, so this is really nice. Now, we can rightfully assume that we're going to get Ryze in the mid lane. We're going to get Ornn in the top, Lee Sin in the jungle, Seraphine, and Misfortune in the bot. While on the flip side, we'll have Tahm, Volley, Sylas, Ez, and Karma. And the teams are going to go ahead and get loaded into the client now and go ahead and start everything getting assigned while we discuss some of the picks that we're seeing here. If you're watching in the game, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win based off the draft. We've got Tahm, Kench, Volibear, Sylas, Ezreal, Karma going into Ornn, Lee Sin, Ryze, Misfortune, and Seraphine. I think both teams have a lot of great potential. I like the all-in capability of AKVE. They've got great alts to layer. The Ornn alt along with the Seraphine alt pair very well with the Misfortune alt. So I think there's a lot of synergy that way. I like that the Lee Sin's in the game. He can kick somebody out and totally shift the dynamics of a team fight for a couple moments if he needs to. We've also got the Ryze, who's going to be very mobile and start doing a lot of crowd damage. But on the flip side, you've got a strong poke lane coming out of the side of Ezreal and Karma. You've got a Sylas who it's almost impossible to trade with. I haven't seen him played a lot since the nerfs came through this week, so I want to see how that impacts the game. And you've got a Tahm Kench who since reworked is doing a lot of damage. Pair that with a Volibear who's a great engage, and you've got yourself a wonderful team. Chocobo says, I think whatever team Mercy is on will int it. Got to have a little bit more faith than that, brother. And that's going to be the side of Ornn, so you're looking at AKVE on that side, the red team. Watch an eye out for them. Maybe they'll turn it around on you. Either way, we've got a real good game coming up. I like the team picks. I think the lane matchups are going to be fun. I think once we get into the mid and late game and start seeing some more team fight dynamics, that'll be interesting to see how they play. Both teams, it's going to come down to execution, right? If they're able to execute on their team comp, make things happen like they've drafted for, they're going to be able to do it. But if they get thrown off or somebody doesn't get the kind of gold influx that they need, then they're going to find themselves on the back foot trying to make up for it the whole game, and that's going to be a rough situation to be in. All right, and the teams are almost locked in the client draft. Before we get started, I do want to say, if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button. I host streams like this several nights a week and cast for a couple different organizations. You can catch out the schedule. I appreciate the follow from Ace Medina, Censored Mercy, and official AKVE. Much appreciated to all three of you. We've got the last couple picks coming in, so stay with us and we'll get everything loaded up here in just a couple moments. Thank you very much for the follow, Chocobo. Alright, and we are going to have a small delay while we wait for the team to load in. Let's talk a little bit about the lanes and see what we're going to get out of them. Tahm, Kench, and Ornn, two tanky boys going to be going at it. I don't know that much is going to happen without the assistance of Volibear and Lee Sin. That being said, Tahm Kench, since the rework, has been very strong, so my expectation is that he might have a little advantage here. Don't get me wrong, I know Ornn can push with the flamethrower, I know that he has good engage with the pillar knockup, and I know that once he hits level 6 he's got great engage. But, that being said, Tahm Kench is very strong right now. Since his rework, I've seen him picked a lot in the top lane, and I've seen him go into several different laners and win the fight. Judo Priest, Jiddo Price, I can talk, I swear I can. This is what I do, I cast. Jiddo Price, thank you very much. Let's go AKVE. Anybody rooting for Striking Vipers, let me hear it in the chat as well. But either way, I think Tahm Kench, I haven't seen him into an Ornn yet. I have seen him into other lanes. I know that he's very strong since the rework. I think that too much will happen without the assistance of a jungler, but I'd love to go wrong. There we go, Chocobo. Thank you very much. We've got Volibear into Lee Sin. Lee Sin offers great engage, great skirmish. Volibear, though, gets to be a tanky boy. He's quite the bruiser. Once he hits level 6, though, he can shut down turrets. His dive potential is unreal. Now, don't get me wrong. Lee Sin's dive potential is also very strong as well. If he can catch a Q, take it in, and slam down some damage real quickly, flash out. I've seen Lee Sin do weird things under turrets. So I think both of them have a lot of dive potential there, especially on that top lane. Sylas into Ryze. Sylas is so strong right now. Yeah, Volibear is cracked. It's unreal. Sylas into Ryze. I haven't seen Ryze played a lot lately, so I don't want to say yes or no and put my foot in my mouth too early. What I will say is that I've seen the side, number one, I've seen Striking Vipers play. I cast for them on Tuesday night. They're a very good team. Number two, Sylas is a very strong pick right now. I know that he got nerfed recently, and I haven't seen him played since that, but if he goes Everfrost and lands his Abducted Skand off that and then lands his Kingslayer, it makes it number one, so his kit almost entirely gets dropped down on you and you can't do anything. But number two, it's very hard to trade against him in lane. The healing he gets off that is unreal, and it makes it very hard. So you think you're winning a fight, the next thing you know, you're down, he's up, and you're dying. I hope the Ryze is able to play against it. Sir Asol is going to have his work cut out for him, though. Ryze might be able to push the lane a little bit easier once he gets some items and is able to move that lane in a little bit and get a little bit more roam potential, but I don't know how the fight's going to go. So I'm interested to see mid. That's probably where my attention will be the most peaked, if you will. We've got the Misfortune, Seraphine into Ezreal, Karma. Now, I love these lanes. I think the ultimates pair really well together for Misfortune and Seraphine to be able to have a wombo combo that can just shut down anybody. As well, Seraphine has a really strong poke in lane, and I think Misfortune's been really in meta right now. That being said, we've also got Ezreal, Karma. Ezreal is going to do a lot of damage, especially once he gets his Divine Sunder, and Karma is also a really good champion right now. Her Empower D for team fights, her poke, her Mantra Q is great in lane. She can offer a lot of early damage that's hard to kind of sustain through. So I think this lane will also be super fun to watch. Go ahead and stay with us. We're going to take a check at the abilities as we get loaded in. Thank you for following Jiddo Price. Appreciate you. Karma does feel super oppressive. Like I said, it's not good when you can play a support like that in multiple lanes. Let's see, we've got Teleport on all of our solo lanes, Heal coming through for Ezreal while we've got the Exhaust on Misfortune, the heal going over to Seraphine, and then Ignite on Karma. Everything else looking pretty standard across the map. For those of you just tuning in, don't forget we've got Striking Vipers on the side of blue, AKVE on the side of red, and this is the first game in the series. I believe it's a 3-block. It could be a best 2 out of 3. I'm sure if I say something wrong, somebody will correct me if they're listening. And we'll get this game underway here shortly. All right, let's get everything set up. Scoreboard up, time controls down so we don't see any kills coming early, and let's turn the chat off so they have a little privacy to trash talk each other if they want to. As we get loaded in, again, Striking Vipers, blue side, AKVE on the side of red. We've got a really fun game and a good series for you tonight, so thank you very much for tuning in, and we're going to get this game started shortly as the summoners take to the Rift right now. Both junglers opting to go with the Chilling Smite, the Corrupting Potion going over to Sylas, and it looks like everything else is going to go pretty easily. There goes the Corrupting Potion on Ornn as well. Good first buy for him so he can build everything else he needs to in lane. Both teams look like they're going to do a pretty standard 5-point here across the map, although I do like to see spicy stuff happen for that vision as we get closer to the 1 minute mark. So we'll keep an eye out for that, but this game is officially underway. Polar and Shaggy look like they're teasing each other a little bit there. Karma up very far. I don't know if she's going to try and make something happen down there on the bot side. I see her wiggling around on the map, but that's something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And looks like Seraphine. Normally we see the jungler drop their vision, go back, grab the sweeper for the first round. The Seraphine here has dropped her vision and is rolling back for the sweeper. So interesting little start in terms of the bot lane. I'm excited to see if this gets any more interesting. We are going to see the side of Striking Viper starting on their bot side red buff, and we're going to see Lee Sin starting on top side red buff. So expect Lee Sin to be bot level 3-4. And vice versa for the side of Volibear. Well, that's a good solid leash. Shietsu is very kind to get that Volibear rolling. And no secret about where Lee Sin started, as the red side is right there up in front, pushing for that level 2 advantage early. And there's that Lee Sin, there's that Tahm Kench already being aggressive, and you can see the poke coming out from the side of Striking Vipers. Look at that. Tahm Kench is so strong right now. He's able to just start licking down, it doesn't sound right. He's able to start beating up the Ornn, and just very aggressive. He's standing in between the CS, trying to keep him off, not letting him get gold, trying to deny as much experience as possible. Meanwhile, we've got Yetsu and St. Ghoul just poking out Coggle and Hawkster here. They're both taking quite a bit of damage. The stun lands on St. Ghoul, some good solid poke coming out. Meanwhile, Sir Asol trying to push in that wave and get aggressive with the Sylas here. Stick with licking down. Okay, I'll roll that out again if I see it happen. Good call out, Chocobo. Yeah, look at that. That empowered Q coming onto the Seraphine there just does so much damage in lane. And they're like level, what, 2, 3 at this point? Here comes the flash. They're coming out on Sir Asol, and that's going to be first blood at just 2 minutes 55 seconds going over to Volibear. 18 is the name to watch out for this game. I saw him play in a game on Tuesday that I cast, and he is a very strong jungler. He's going to make things happen, so keep your eyes out on the volley. We've already got the teleport burn on the Ryze as he hops back into lane, keeping up his CS lead at this point. He does still have flash, so if Volibear decides to do a repeat gank in the area, there's Tahm Kench coming down. The abductive scon lands. Ryze getting caught up. Looks like they're going to try and get the kill, and they will get the kill onto Sylas there. Now they're falling back up. Tahm Kench, Polar taking some damage. He's going to fall as well. That's going to be Lee Sin getting a kill and Ryze getting a kill. It's a 2-for-0 play in the mid lane for AKVE. And we're 3 minutes in, already got 3 kills. This is the kind of game I like to cast. It's going to be very, very fun if they keep it up like this. We've already got teleports burned on the side of AKVE from both the Ornn and from the Ryze. We've got a teleport and flash burned on the side of Striking Vipers with Sylas and a flash from the Tahm Kench. So lots of summoner spells burned in these first couple minutes. I'm excited to see how the junglers will play around these and how they're tracking the timers. Alright, there goes the knock-up coming from the Kench. He is able to dash out of there. The slow lands. Volibear is going to get the bear slap on. There it is. There's some damage going down. Flash comes out. He's without any summoner spells now, and that is a decent gank if you blow a flash like that. So very well played coming out of the side of Striking Vipers. Lee Sin already completing the first component of his Gore Drinker, and there are a couple items coming in on the Volibear. They're both relatively equal, all things considered at this point in the game. Let's do a quick state of the map. Gold difference, a couple hundred gold over in favor of AKVE. Look at that Sylas, though. That Sylas is sitting pretty. That Misfortune is sitting pretty, about 300 gold more than the Ezreal. So very good job of that Misfortune, doing a great job CSing there. We've got jungles relatively equal, top lane relatively equal. Ryze has a little bit of a gold advantage, and everything else looks pretty solid across the board. No, the Ezreal is not farming well. All things considered, at 5.5 minutes, he should be a little bit higher up in the CS department. That being said, they've been doing a great job of poking them out, and we're only 5 minutes in. There's a lot of time for him to switch it around. I've seen Yetsu play before, and he is a very good laner, so we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, Seraphine having to hop back out of lane after taking quite a bit of damage from the Ezreal and the Karma duo there. And Tahm Kench has a nice little wave here just stacked up for him. Leading in CS, that's where you want to be. A good freeze and a good lead. And the Infernal Drake is up. I've got pings coming out from Striking Vipers that they want to get that started on the map. They're going to go ahead and get it going. Lee Sin's in the area, though. We could see a little fight break out here. Both the junglers only at the 450 smite realm, so it's going to be a true back and forth if they decide to do it. Looks like Lee Sin's just going to say no thanks, go ahead and take it. And we'll see an ocean popping up next, which means we're going to get a mountain or a cloud soul this game. Cloud soul would be nice, as we would see a lot of different cooldown, a lot of cooldowns on the different ultimates that we see here. But I also think a mountain would be fun to play around as well. You'd have a lot of potential for the for different ganks and stuff coming around with the map setup. And that's the final smite coming through on Volibear. He's upgraded to 900. Meanwhile, Lee Sin's still sitting at 450 for another 2 smites. And this is a nice even match so far. I know we've had a couple kills back and forth. We've got good CSing coming out of Striking Vipers on the top and on the top lane there and in the jungle. We've got good CSing coming out of the Ryze and the Misfortune. Some kills over on both sides. Let me know if you're watching in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the match right now? And also, is it going like you think it thought it would? Do you think it would start like this, or did you have other expectations? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Misfortune, meanwhile, hanging out on the top side, going to try and put the beat down. That's going to be the Tahm Kench hopping right on out of there as Seraphine rotates up as well. And they're putting a lot of pressure on the top side as they're going to try and put a move on Rift Herald since they lost first Drake. I love it when teams make these kind of autonomous rotation decisions that you don't always see. A lot of time they'll leave somebody in the bot lane. And it, don't get me wrong, it's not a terrible call. We've got some action going on. The flash comes through, the stun lands on Misfortune. That's going to be the Karma. She's going to get locked up and she's going to fall. Tahm Kench is going to get the kill. Flash comes out of Seraphine. That's going to be a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Striking Vipers, and they take a little bit of the gold lead. As I was saying, I do like to see the play. Oh, we've got more engage coming through. The Seraphine ult lands on from Sylas. That's going to be Seraphine falling through, and that's another kill going over the side of Striking Vipers. Very well played from Pure Genesis. And they're going to put people in position to go ahead and lock up this Rift Herald right now. And we will see Misfortune going right back down to the bot lane. So their plan to rotate the bot side duo up to help take Rift Herald was a great idea, but because that Misfortune got caught out and then likewise the Seraphine, it ended up not being worth it in the end. And again, we've got these top lanes. Poor Ornn. This is what I'm talking about. Because of the rework that we saw on Tahm Kench, Ornn is just getting abused right now. He's down almost 2 waves in lane. He's having a hard time getting his items going. And he's not able to do much with what he's got going on. He's had no real assistance from the Lee Sin up there except for a little fight that broke out. And Lee Sin wasn't able to do too much. So I want to see how the rest of this goes. If Lee Sin's going to continue to just let Tahm Kench get fed and try and put his pressure in the bot and mid lane where they've got the advantage, or if he's going to go up there and try and slow down the Tahm Kench. This one is for Choco Bo. It does look like he is licking down the Ornn. There's some more poke coming out in lane. Now that we're starting to see some items come out on everybody and everybody's getting some levels up, the damage does not look as bad as it could. I want to point out, Ryze doing a great job of CSing this game. Just a little bit off of perfect CS at this point. You know, the pros try and stay at around 9 to 10 CS a minute on average, so he's down just a little bit. But we've got some others like Ornn struggling just to get a little bit of gold in lane. We'll do a quick state of the map check-in. Tahm Kench finds himself up a couple hundred. Volibear finds himself up a couple hundred. The Ryze has a nice lead. Everything relatively equal in the bot lane. So very equal state of the map so far. I know there's a little bit more gold on the side of Striking Vipers, but again, nothing that can't be overcome. Nice little sidestep from the Ezreal there. And we've got the Drake spawning up in about 26 seconds here. So we're going to see teams starting to get in position to take the second Drake of the game. And we're only at about 11 minutes in, so a lot of priority on the Drake here. Also, I do want to call out, Rift Herald did get over to the Volibear, and they might decide, yep, to drop this mid while the Drake spawns and give themselves that extra pressure, helping them lock up the next Drake. So we're going to see Volibear run over and start it. We've got the side of Yetsu and St. Ghoul hopping down to go ahead and get this Drake going with him. And there's Pure Genesis. He literally cues and walks away like I did my part. So that is the second Drake over to the side of Striking Vipers. Good job from the Ryze to flash out of there. Otherwise, I think he would have got locked up between the Tahm and the Sylas there. And Striking Vipers starting to get a little bit of a lead in this game. We're at about 12 minutes in. They're up about 1,000 gold. Nothing too crazy, but definitely going to notice it eventually. The Vipers do move together well. They seem to have really good communication. That being said, I think their team is doing really, really well at this point. But you've got a Ryze that's doing a great job of CSing, a Misfortune that's doing a great job of CSing. And I think that once we get out of the lane phase, we might see a different story. So let's keep our eyes out for it. Meanwhile, the Ryze throwing some damage onto the Sylas. Really well played there. And he's pushing that wave in, and he's going to try and make some pressure on the rest of the map. Seraphine getting hit with a little bit of damage from the Karma. Lee Sin hanging out in the area. We've got Yetsu coming down to start grabbing the red buff now. Very kind to give that over to him. And there's the Ryze taking some damage from the Karma. He's trying to trade it back. Not too much of land there, so it was just a little meet and greet in the jungle to say hello. And now we got the Volibear going in on the Ornn. The stun lands, knockup coming through. It will miss. PTA procced on the Ornn. He's going to re-engage with the ult coming through. You've got Ryze in the area. They're locking him down. Some damage coming out, but the Ryze is going to take a lot of damage there and fall. Now you've got the Lee Sin. He's getting chunked out as well, and they're both going to have to run away as it's a 3v2 at this point. The knockup comes through. It's up. They're turret diving. That goes Lee Sin, and there goes Ornn. That's going to be a triple kill for Volibear. And we're going to see 18 sitting at 4-0-2. He is feeling big. 400 gold shut down on him right now. Now we've got St. Ghoul taking some damage. He's going to fall. Seraphine gets the kill. She's going to... Miss Fortune's going to fall to the Ezreal. Ezreal following up. Seraphine has to flash away. Is the Arcane shift up? Can he land anything? Yes! It's going to be his Q that comes out and locks up the kill. He didn't even have to shift for it. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Striking Vipers in the bot lane. And now we've got an 8-kill versus 3-kill game. Striking Vipers up about 3,000 gold. Very close to an ace. You're damn right. Turrets are down, but it doesn't matter anymore. The gold lead's going to start to get weird. Let's do a quick check-in. We're almost at 15 minutes. That's the wrong button. Yeah, Tahm Kench setting over 1,000 gold. Volibear setting over 1,000 plus gold, almost 1,500. Mid lane still relatively equal, all things considered. The Ezreal now has a lead of about 500k, and the supports are both relatively equal. We're starting to see some of the mythic items come through on everybody. Ezreal going for the Essence Reaver first instead. Not a bad choice. I've seen a lot of them do that right here lately and then roll into the Divine Sunder afterwards. But he also might go a different build. He didn't go, he went lethal tempo, so maybe they're going to try something else there. The knockup coming through on the Tahm Kench, knows he's dominant. He's going to start putting damage down. He's got the great health if he needs it. He's licking down the Ornn. He misses, and it goes wide. Nothing more is going to happen there. And the CS difference in the mid and bot lane, though still there, is starting to catch up. Both the solo laners on the side of Striking Vipers, sorry, not solo laners. Both of the laners on the side of Striking Vipers for mid and bot find themselves down about a wave. Some damage coming through on the Lee Sin. He is able to kick somebody away and get out of there. I think it went on to the Karma. Either way, he finds himself still alive. And look at the oppression going out from Polar. Pings coming out left and right. We've got 4 members from the side of Striking Vipers down here in the bot area, deep in their jungle, trying to steal and clear out some of those camps. There goes the stun. There goes some damage. PTA proc. The stun coming through for the Karma. Ult comes down from Misfortune. Does not land. He's going to ult over, putting some beat down on the Misfortune now. There goes Seraphine. She's dead. There goes Misfortune. She's dead. It's a 3-for-0 trade in favor of Striking Vipers. And they are going to go ahead and get the first turret of the game in the bot side knocked down and get this game rolling. And Mountain Drake up. The side of Striking Viper is going to go ahead and get it going. It's only 16 minutes in, and they're going to find themselves on Soul Point. If you're the side of AKVE, you've got to come up with an answer for this team. Whether you get better vision and try and catch somebody in rotation and get a pick, whether you try and figure out a way to fight them front-to-back team fights, whether you layer your ults better, you've got to come up with an answer, because right now, it's not happening. Sylas going in heavy on the Ornn, fight breaking out. He's taking some damage. He's trying to trade it back, nothing's going to happen, and the Sylas is just going to take the farm and get out of there. They do have the Dragons on lockdown, Chocobo. They are going hard on the objectives. The only thing that they haven't got is this second Rift Herald right now, and it might be going their way after they lock up this kill. They've got somebody in their mouth. They're going to spit out Shaggy, and he's going to get burst down. Ornn, meanwhile, trying to run away. The Nocturne, the Everfrost, all coming through. This side of Striking Viper is locking up kill after kill. Hawkster came in out of position. She finds herself in a bit of a pickle. She's going to get knocked up, and that's going to be a triple kill going over to the side of Striking Vipers. Pure Genesis is going to go ahead and get some gold on him. Uh-oh, Misfortune finally getting big. She's going to put out some damage and get a solo kill onto the Ezreal in the mid lane. Great kill to get over to her. She got some shutdown gold off of that. All right, we could see the second turret falling, third turret falling, rather. I'm sorry. All tier 1 outer turrets are down for the side of AKVE. So they have no pressure in this game as all 3 turrets stand for the side of Striking Vipers. And they all look pretty healthy from here, too. So there's got to be a response from the side of AKVE. But very good for Kog'Maw to get that kill, get some shutdown gold from the Ezreal. She is definitely going to find herself. Glad she has that. The Executioner's Calling coming through to help negate some of the shield and heals coming out from people like the Tahm, Kench, the Volibear, and the Sylas. So a wise component buy there. I don't know if she'll complete that item or if she's going to go and kind of do a garage sale and just get some pieces and bits and bobs, but we'll have to see. We've got the tier stacked up on Ezreal. Looks like he's going to be going into the Archangel Staff. And then we've got, let's see, anything else crazy going on? Tahm Kench already setting at 2 items. Volibear already setting at 2 items. Sylas already setting at 2 items. Meanwhile, we've got the side of AKVE down a little bit. They're down 7,000 gold. They're down a couple different items. They're down objectives and turrets, and they're down objectives in... Well, make it Heralds now because the Herald just got dropped there. I don't think there was any pressure to do it there, so I'm wondering if that was on purpose or not. Normally 18 would have been a little bit more succinct about where he drops that. It could have been an accident to clear out some wards, because Red has a great job of vision in that enemy jungle, tracking where the Volibear is, and trying to play well around where they need to. This is exactly what they've got to do. Sylas might get caught out here. That's going to land from the Seraphine. The blast gun going to be taken over. Nothing more will come from it, and he's going to get away scot-free. And it looks like, no! Are they going to be able to stop this Rift Herald before it gets a charge off, or is it going to make its way in? Yes, nice job from Sir Asol to get that Rift Herald dead before it got a charge off on the bot side tier 2 turret. Now we've got the side of Striking Vipers. They're getting the Baron started. Everybody's aware of it, though, and they're going to show up. Vision coming down, 18 going in for the engage, and that's going to be Hawkster getting blown up. Kog'Maw trying to run away. Nice knockup from the Ornn. They might be able to put themselves in an advantage here, but it's 5v3. I don't think it's going to happen. There goes Shaggy getting chased down. Mercy getting blown up, and that's going to be Ornn falling down. You've got Misfortune running away. The ult comes through, and it's going to lock up the kill on Misfortune. We've got Shaggy, the only one able to escape with his life in that fight, and that puts all 5 members of the side of Striking Vipers in position to take the Baron. At just 20 minutes, they're going to get this thing started. It hasn't even had a birthday yet, and it's already getting taken down. Pure Genesis playing great defense. There's going to be a Tahm Kench. They're going to lock up Shaggy again when he comes back in. That's going to be the Ryze falling. They've turned this in to a 5-for-0 trade plus the Baron. Gold difference now setting well over 1,000. Hawkster in a bad spot. Has to flash to get away and use the heal just to keep herself alive. Pure Genesis is putting some pressure on everybody he runs into. We've got the Drake spawning in 30 seconds. If the side of Striking Vipers is able to lock this up, this could very well be the linchpin in the game. If the side of AKVE is able to contest somehow, they have a chance. Otherwise, I don't see a win condition. If you're watching, let me know what you think. I'd love to get your thoughts on what you see happening in the game right now. Teams all vying for position. Teleport coming in from the Ryze. Some damage going down. Ornn ult comes out. He's going to get locked up. He's not able to engage on it. He's taking a lot of damage. So is Kog'Maw. Polar is able to lock up the kill on Seraphine. He'll fall. But we're also going to see a 4-for-1 trade. A 5-for-1 trade. That's a team ace in favor of Striking Vipers as they kill all members of AKVE. Meanwhile, just the side of 18 and Yetsu are going to fall. And it looks like that's going to be the game. At just 22 minutes, AKVE is going to go ahead and forfeit. And Striking Vipers are going to get the win in the first game of the series. If you like that, stay tuned. We're going to have another game coming right up. real fast, just so everybody is aware, this is going to be a 2-block. So this is going to be the last game of the series, just a 1-for-1. Is an MVP going to be decided? If I had to give an MVP, it would be going over to 18. He was able to empower a lot of those lanes to get the gold lead that they had and make things happen. So if I got to cast out an MVP, it's going over to 18 for that game. Very well played. That being said, as I was saying, this is only going to be a 2-block series, so this will be the last game. Thank you very much for tuning in. Afterwards, we'll do a little post-game review. And if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button. I'd appreciate the support. And we'll get this game underway here shortly. Thank you very much for watching. All right, and this second game is underway as the teams begin their pick ban. We're going to see Azreal and Zhao taken out of the game. In case you're wondering why the Azreal ban, one of the team members for the side of AKVE is named Sir Azreal, so makes sense to not let him have his champion. Sylas going to get banned. Wise choice to not let him back in the game. Camille is also going to get banned. These guys going back and forth. I can't keep up with you. Aurelia and Nunu also taken out, so nothing too crazy coming out of either side there. We're going to see the Thresh locked in. I love the prio pick on Thresh. He's super strong. We're going to see Caitlyn and Tahm Kench locked in. Let's see what they decide to do with the B2 pick here. Darius could be locked in. They're hovering it. They're thinking about it. It's happening. We're going to get to see a Darius game. Not somebody who you see a lot in meta. So very excited to see how this goes down. I want to see if they're able to make this work or not. They're going to take their last pick of the first half down to the wire as they decide what they're going to do. And it's going to be Jhin. I like the Jhin pick. Jhin quite strong. I love the engage and disengage that Thresh offers, and we're going to get to see Caitlyn Rell. Oriana going to get banned out. These teams are not playing around. They're going back and forth like gangbusters here, folks. Really excited for the Darius pick. I'm not sure if it's just a strong counter into the Tahm Kench. I'm not sure if he's... I know that he was buffed in the jungle a couple patches back, but it never really took off, so maybe they found a way to make it work real well. I'm excited for it, but we'll find out here shortly. Good ban with the Diana, and they're going to take out the Ryze as well. And the last ban going to come through here. The Volibear going to get pulled out of commission for this game. So we've got the last series of picks coming in. We're going to start with R4 here from the side of Striking Vipers. right now they've got a pretty solid team shaping up. I want to see what they decide to do with the jungle in the mid lane. Hecarim, strong pick as well. Very good with the ganks, super fast, mobile, and very powerful. What's the answer going to be from AKVE? Gragas. All right, I like the Gragas pick. Now, we could see Gragas mid, we could see Gragas top, we could see him, a lot of different potential there, so we'll have to see what the teams decide to do with it and also what their last pick is going to be if that reveals anything. And I just want to give a shout out. Darius had mentioned, yo, this volley is super cracked. He was not wrong. And we're going to get to see Quinn locked in. I have to assume that means the Darius is going jungle at this point. Gragas mid and Quinn top. Again, I could be wrong, but I think that's how it's going to shake out here. And I'm seeing that that might not have been the pick they meant to go with. It could be a Cassiopea instead of a Quinn. And Karthus is Ziggs. So we're going to see Ziggs as the final pick coming out of the side. And that's not a Quinn, that's a Cass. So we'll get this game underway in just a couple moments as these teams load on to the Rift. All right. And let's see what they decide to do here, where they decide to place everybody. Hey, what's up, NSG? Thanks for tuning in. I'll be casting for you guys later this week. I appreciate you tuning in and saying hi. We've got a great game. We've got AKVE up against Striking Vipers. Right now, the series is one game in favor of Striking Vipers. The second game getting here underway shortly. We are going to see Darius going into the top lane, into the Tahm Kench. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Like I said, with Tahm Kench's rework here recently, it could be a very solid counter to him that I just haven't seen here. We are going to have the Gragas going into the jungle, and Cassiopea and Ziggs both locked into the mid lane. This is a scrim. So this is a scrim between two NA teams out here, and they were kind enough to let me cast. The final ban's going to come through for this last half of the phase, which means we are going to get to see the Caitlyn Rell in the bot lane along with the Jhin Thresh. So I'm excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be interesting how the Darius plays into the Tahm Kench. He might have enough cut through to get through that new rework that is that tanky boy, but he still might get licked down like the Ornn did last game. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Gragas, of course, very strong. I saw a Gragas main last week that just annihilated a team. So if he plays anything like that, gentlemen, we're in for quite a game. Cassiopea and Ziggs, two strong laners. We've got Ziggs, who's able to knock down turrets very quickly, able to get some solid roams. What 3 LCS teams do I think would make Worlds? I'm a Cloud9 fan, so I want to put them in there. But honestly, it could be, I think it's going to be 100T, TL, and I want to say Cloud9. But again, I could be wrong with that last one. And we've got the picks coming through now. Don't say that. Cloud9's on the cusp, baby. They can make it in if they try. Do you not want to see Cloud9 in there? Or do you not want to see Cloud9 in there because you're scared to face them? Does the LEC not want any of that? Or do you genuinely think those are the 3 best teams in LCS? Blabber is depressing. I could not feel like he is inting a little bit more every game, and it hurts my soul to watch. This game is going to go ahead and get loaded up. We've got a 3-minute delay for integrity purposes, so we're going to keep the conversation going. Everybody else on the team plays really well. Like Fudge, I'm really proud of him. I know it's only his second split, but he's been doing pretty good. I absolutely love Perks. Perks was abusive in the LEC, and he's just doing the exact same thing in NA. And NA is not, I hate to say it, NA is not nearly as good, so he gets to go even crazier out here. And then our bot lane between Sven and, I forget his name. Like, they're doing solid right now. But for whatever reason, Blabber is not playing like he used to. And I don't know if I think what happened was when he played at Worlds last year, he got pounced on, just absolutely shut down, and I think it gave him like heavy ass mental tilt, and ever since he's come back he has not been the same. Like, they went undefeated last year, the first half of the split, did super strong in the second half of the split, they get into Worlds and they get shut down, which makes sense. They're an NA team going up against the LPL and the LCK. They're super strong, even the LEC. They're all stronger than the NA. I won't argue that for a second. So I think what happened is, as soon as Blabber got into the arena with a bunch of other stronger teams, he went on hard mental boom after that and hasn't been able to reset. He's been trying to catch up and just scramble, and he has not been able to do it. So I hope it goes well for him, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope. I would love to see Cloud9 make it, but I think 100T TSMTL is a very good pick. 100T's really turned it on this season. I love what they've done with the team. Reaper is a great coach. He was the coach for C9 last year and the year before that, and I think the year before that. So he's been a really good coach, a really solid influence on several different teams at this point. And you can clearly see that he's probably one of the biggest factors in the teams that he's been on. So I'm excited to see exactly how it shakes out. We've got about a minute before we get back into the game, so stay tuned here and we will get started just shortly. I don't follow a lot of LCL and LPK as much as I would like to, because that's just, I have a kid in life, so it's kind of hard to keep up with all of the different regions. That being said, I know Gen G is super strong, and I would have no doubt in my mind that they are going to take it all the way. Taking a look through at all the summer spells, we've got Teleport on all our solo laners, heals going on to the carries, Ignites on both of our supports, so nothing too crazy. We are going to see that the Hecarim is going to pop up with the Ghost, and let's go ahead and get everything pulled up so we can all see what's going on. Who do you think the 3 teams are going to be from the LEC? Voracity. I was trying to figure out, for whatever reason, I wanted to see. I would love for that to be the final. I would love to see EU in a final, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. The closest we ever got was a quarterfinal against Fnatic in 2018, I think it was. Okay. That would be a nice pick. Yeah, I would love to see. I'd love to see NA versus EU. I think EU probably would win, and I hate to say that because I'm born and raised in the USA. But EU is probably trounced right over NA. But it would be a fun matchup. The LPL and the LCK is just so dominant. What do we do to shut them down from their wins? Both teams here doing a 5-point out. Again, Rell going to get some early vision and swap over to the sweeper, and it looks like Thresh is going to do the same thing. I love Bwipo. Bwipo is probably one of the best laners, and he is just so freaking funny, man. I love watching Bwipo. He wears his emotions on his face, so if he loses lane, he gets so tilted, but if he wins, he is just having the best time of his life, and it shows. He's an entertainer along with a great performer, so I love it. And looks like both the jungles going to go ahead and start off into the top lane. Darius going to get an early little damage onto the Tahm here and putting some bleed down on him, and he is just going to go ahead and chunk him out. Look at the blood dripping across there. He is not having any mercy. We've got a little game. Oh, Hawkster having to go ahead and flash away. The Ignite coming through and some damage coming down. We've got fights breaking out left and right. These teams are ready to get this show on the road. Remember, First Blood came out at just 3 minutes last game. Hawkster taking some damage, has to use the Flay to keep Rell off of her. St. Ghoul not afraid, though. Going to take some poke from the Jhin, but is going to be able to sustain through it relatively easy. Thank you, I'm an idiot and forgot to transfer it over. There we go. You got to trust me that what I said was happening, guys. You got to trust me. Everything I said was true. Again, that was the Darius up on the top side, putting some damage waiting on the top side tri-bush for the Tahm Kench and had him chunked out relatively. I was talking to you the whole time. I got distracted. And then we had a little skirmish breaking out here on the bot side. Flash already burned on the side of AKVE for Hawkster. And the Ignite already down from St. Ghoul. This is what happens when you do self-production. You get distracted, and the next thing you know, the whole thing goes to hell and back. Cassiopea doing a good job CSing right now along with the Jhin. And look at that lead. Darius up 10 CS, just keeping the Tahm Kench poked off. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, I think the Darius into the Tahm Kench could be beautiful. You're just going to cut back all the healing that he gets, the gray health, everything else, and you're going to make him regret stepping up to you. He's up 11 CS at this point. That's almost 2 waves. He's going to go ahead and get a little cheater back here. We've got 18 coming in for the gank going on Hawkster. Hawkster able to get the hook off. Still alive. Drops the cannon for some shielding, but that's going to be Caitlyn locking up First Blood. Yetsu is on the board. And that's going to be Striking Vipers getting First Blood again in the series. Took them a little bit longer, about a minute or so later than it was last game, but either way, it went over to them. 18 doing a great job of empowering these folks to get the kills. Now we've got Gragas coming in. It looks like he's going to try and return the favor. Flashes in, gets the damage out onto Yetsu. The flash comes out, but that's going to be a trade kill. Jhin is able to get the kill over onto Caitlyn, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Very good play coming out of Shaggy on Gragas. Meanwhile, this Hecarim is up a couple camps. He's up a little bit of gold, and he's up in items as well. Obviously, it was Boots and Dark Steel. There's the knockup I'm going to miss from Polar, but we've got 18 coming in now. Mercy in some trouble, asking for it. He's getting some damage. He can't get out. He gets creep blocked, and he's going to die. That's going to be 18 locking down the third kill of the game. And that's going to be Censored Mercy heading back to the fountain. 18 looking clean again. Very good at empowering his lanes to get gold, at impacting the game the way he needs to. He got the kill there, but he helped get that Tahm Kench out of a bit of a pickle. He's still only down a wave of CS, which I know for this early is a lot, but let's not lie, it could be a lot worse if that Darius has been left to his own and just continued to keep that Tahm Kench off the lane. So very good job from 18 to go ahead and know where to be and when to be there. Tahm Kench going to teleport back to lane with the Bramble Vest. Darius deciding to go with the call early and give himself a little bit of a gold spike later on in the game, so we'll have to see if that pays out for him or not. Pings coming out left and right. We could have some action going mid. Darius coming down. Gragas in the area. Ziggs going to go ahead and get walked into. Meanwhile, we've got a fight breaking out in the bot lane. They're getting into skirmishes everywhere. Pure genius. Going to blast away. The pull comes from Darius. He flashes, and it's a swing. Bada bada. Censored. Mercy gets the kill. Ziggs is now out of here. Very good play from Darius getting that roam down. And we are going to see this Darius off to a great start in game. Let's go ahead and do a quick state of the map check-in. He's up about 200 gold over Tahm Kench. The Hecarim's up about 400 gold over the Gragas. Both the mid laners are relatively equal, less than 100 gold separates, and we got a fight breaking out now. Hawks are taking some damage. The heal comes through. It's not enough, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. Cassiopea making a great TP, and that's going to be a 2-for-1. We've got 18 back in the area now. Seraphine trying to get away. The ult comes down. The Ziggs ult falls. That's going to be Cassiopea falling. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Woo! We've got a game on our hands, everybody. We're only 6 minutes in and 8 kills. Pure genius with a beautiful roam, dropping his ult and locking up that last kill. We've got an Ocean Drake here getting started from the side of Striking Vipers. They're going to try and do the same thing they did last game, which is get those things going. Both of our junglers sitting on an unleveled smite. That means they are both at 450 right now. Shaggy can't get to the lantern. He's barely able to get there. Still taking some damage. The follow-up from Caitlyn is locking down the kill on the Gragas, and that's going to be first Drake over to the side of Striking Vipers. Great plays coming out of these teams. Striking Vipers doing a great job securing the Drake, empowering the Caitlyn. She's up 3 kills. The Jhin is up 3 kills. There's the knock up onto the Darius. They're fighting in a blue wave, though, by blue turret. Mercy trying to get the bleed on. He's doing okay, and he's going to walk away. Still up in, oh, the CS is even tied now. All right, folks, we've got ourselves a hell of a game going. It's 1,000 gold difference over to the side of Striking Vipers on the red team. This Darius now getting poked out, and it looks like the tides have changed. This bot lane has been super aggressive. I love to see it. They're going back and forth, trying to trade in. The Rell is using her tankiness, her armor cut down, and that stun E to their advantage, trying to make plays. They're not afraid to go in on these guys, and it's obvious. Look at the damage that Jhin is taking off of just one auto from a trap. Hook goes wide from Hawkster, doesn't connect with anything. They're going to go ahead and back out of there so they don't take any turret shots. None of the junglers are in the area, but it does look like Shaggy is going to go ahead and get the Rift Herald started up for this game. Darius in the area. Polar in there. It's a 3v2. Polar going to get ulted down by the Cassiopeia, and I didn't see who got it. Okay, it is going to be the side of AKVE that is able to both lock up the Rift Herald and get a double kill onto Darius. He's now sitting at 3-1 in the game. So we've got great plays coming out of both teams. Again, that fight up at Rift Herald, it was not very fortunate for the side of Striking Vipers. They found themselves outnumbered as both Cass and Darius are able to roam up and make plays. Darius getting a double kill there and just putting some gold in his pocket. Now with the Rift Herald going down, this could be first turret gold at under 10 minutes going over to the side of AKVE. They're not quite going to get it. Tahm Kench comes in for the knockup, but there's a huge wave there. I think if they wanted to make something happen, it would be possible. The flash comes out and the ignite from Rell tries to get some damage going. Hecarim is able to go ahead and get the turret dive under there, take some shots, and Rell gets a double kill. Not where you want the gold to go, but at this point it doesn't matter. They're both got a bounty on their heads. And some more gold going over to the side of Striking Vipers. In addition to the double kill, you've got turret plates falling left and right for them. And right now, nothing too much going on. After all this action, we're going to have a little break so I can breathe. I appreciate it. Let's do a quick... Oh, there goes Ezreal. The knockup comes through. The ult comes down. And it's going to be pure Genesis locking up a kill onto Ezreal in the mid lane. Stun comes through, but it isn't able to connect as she's able to hop. The hook comes through. It doesn't quite connect. Rell getting broken down here. We've got 18 in the area, but Rell's going to get popped first in. 18's going to turn right back around. Meanwhile, Mercy goes for the pull on Polar. Nothing going to happen. The turret's down. Polar finds himself out of position now. Damage coming down. He flashes to get away. The Gragas ult to push him back in. And look at this. It could be Darius getting the ult. That's going to be the Tahm Kench taken out of here again. These hooks going wide left and right from Hoxter. It's sad to see, but it's happening. And that's going to be Jhin falling over to the Caitlyn. Hoxter out of position, taking some damage. It's a double kill for Caitlyn as she gets both those bot laners in her pocket. Drake going to be popping up here in 40 seconds. This is going to help them a lot with positioning. As I was saying, let's do a quick state-of-the-map check-in real quickly, if we may. Yeah, that Darius is now sitting pretty at about a 1,500 gold lead. Meanwhile, Caitlyn taking some turrets here. It's going to get her some gold. The Hecarim's up 400. The Cassiopea is up about 400. The Caitlyn's sitting at a cool 1,000 gold more than the Jhin. And these, you've even got the Rell with about 1,000 more gold than the Thresh. So there's a big difference there, and you can feel it. Darius, though, he's feeling big. He doesn't have a lane to worry about. He's going to come down here and try and assert his dominance and allow the side of AKVE to try and luck up their first Drake. Teleport's coming through. They're ready for it. Ult's already popped from Thresh. That's going to be Gragas locking up the Drake, and it's going to be 1-1 for the Drake. Shaggy flashes out of there, just barely alive. Nobody's died so far. Darius will fall. Hoxter will fall. It's a 2-for-0 trade. The Drake, was it worth it? We'll find out. Polar chasing down Cog. Great step from Coggle. Some damage coming down heavy onto Polar. The Grey Health popped. He's trying to stay alive, but if Coggle can keep it up, that's going to be one kill going over to the side of AKVE. Caitlyn, meanwhile, pumping out damage onto Yetsu. He'll fall. Shaggy taking more damage from the Ziggs. The ult comes out from Caitlyn, but it will not lock up the kill onto Gragas as he will live. All in all, that was a 3-for-1 trade. Oh, beautiful Zhonya's. Shaggy walking away, trying to stay alive. He's able to sidestep everything. We've got Pure Genesis trying to run away. He does get the kill onto Gragas, though. It's a 1-for-1 trade in that little fight. These teams are going back and forth. It's 10-14, 14 minutes in. We've had a kill almost every 30 seconds, and these teams are hungry for it. Hecarim going deep into the blue side jungle, trying to get some of the camps away from this Gragas. Hook goes wide for Hoxter again. And it looks like the Rift Herald's going to be joining the map here in about 1 minute, so I would expect to see these teams vying for position over the Rift Herald with the Drake not up for 3 minutes 30 seconds. Originally, it did go to the side of AKVE, and they were able to get first turret gold off of it in the top lane. We'll see if they're able to lock up the second one, or Striking Vipers is going to make a play for it here in the next 30 to 40 seconds. Shaggy out of position, 3 people on him, but here comes Darius and Cassiopea. The flash comes through, the ult comes through, but it doesn't connect with anybody. Gragas about ready to take some heavy damage as Caitlyn comes in. It's a 5v3. This Seraphine trying to run away. Rell not able to engage. She's going to zone you. Try and get the kill onto Polar, but nothing's going to come from it. You've got the Lantern. Way to go, Thresh. Going to go ahead and save Cassiopeia there. St. Ghoul going to fall to Censored Mercy. Jhin dropping his ult, laying out some damage, and that's a kill going over to the side of AKVE as they find themselves with a little bit of a chance back in this game. Only 2,000 gold difference at 15 minutes in, but 18 once that Rift Herald, he's going to get it started up. And that's going to be Rift Herald going over the side of Striking Vipers as they now have traded over that objective, and we'll see what they decide to do with it. They don't have anything but the bot turret at this point, so they might want to drop it mid here in a moment or two once we see this Cloud Drake make its way onto the Rift. Pings coming out left and right. Ziggs doing a great job. Jhin doing a great job of trying to lock up the Caitlyn. They're not able to do it. Now you've got the Shaggy in the area. He's going to drop the ult, try and get somebody that's not going to connect with anything. And it will be Yetsu getting away with barely any life, blowing a flash and a heal, but he's still alive. And we've got 1 minute till the Cloud Drake is up on this map. There comes the ult from Ziggs. It does not connect with anybody. Good effort, though. Looks like it's on a relatively low cooldown at this point, so he doesn't have to worry too much about it. St. Ghoul trying to clear vision. Has to be respectful of Darius in the area, though. He's got a lot of friends, so he's not too worried about it. Ping's coming out onto the Ziggs, finds himself a little bit forward, but he's going to be respectful and back right off. There goes the Rift Herald. 44 seconds until Drake's up. I might have held on to it a little bit longer, but that's okay. We'll see if it pans out. It's going to drop. It gets the charges off. We'll see if anything happens. Nothing going to come through. It does get the Herald. Oh, that's going to be the ult coming out of Cassiopea, but it doesn't connect with anybody, and she's going to get blown up. 3v1 in the bot lane, and it will be the Cassiopea that falls here. Meanwhile, Polar getting some damage on him, but they are not in a position to be able to answer, and you've got 4 members from the side of Striking Vipers coming back to help you answer. Now, let's look at the game. We've got 11 kills on AKVE, 15 on Striking Vipers. It's about a 3,000 gold difference in favor of Striking Vipers. 1 turret each, 1 dragon each. We'll have to see how the rest of this game unfolds, but we so far have a very good game. This mid turret taking some damage. It's likely going to fall in 3, 2, 1. There it is. It's gone. Pure Genesis gets caught out. That's Coggle getting the kill on to Pure Genesis. Ziggs is taken out. There's the Lantern trying to empower somebody. Nobody's in the area. Hook's going wide. Trying to stop this tier 2 turret from falling. St. Ghoul engages on him, and he's going to fall under turret. Now you've got 18 in the area, taking the fight back to him. Trades a kill over. It's 2v1. Sir Ezreal trying to follow up on Yetsu. Some damage coming down. Sir Yetsu falls. St. Ghoul barely going to stay alive. Trying to get away. Teleport comes down from the Darius. They're going to try and pinch off this Rell. Will it work? No, it won't. Good job dancing over to the Dragon Pit. And Rell is going to get away with her life. I almost want to give MVP to St. Ghoul just for that little Dragon Pit hop maneuver. But right now, I've got to say, Yetsu is playing his or her mind out. Very good job. Locking up kills, putting out damage, working their way around the map. Yeah, I love to see this. Darius not wanting to die mid lane, going to go ahead and back off after getting a little damage done onto the mid tier 1 turret. And let's take a look. Just a moment ago, I was mentioning the gold lead at about 3,000. If you look again, just over 1,000. So good job from AKV starting to tie this game up a little bit. They're stopping the bleeding. They're going to get in position here on Polar. They're going to find him out of position. 2 members coming up. He tries to get out of there. He's not able to. The pull comes through. Let's see. He flashes away. There's Gragas. Damage coming out. You've got 18 in the area. Blue side knows that it's going to be a fight that they cannot get all their members up to. Hawkster taking some damage. Hawkster falling. That's going to be censored. Mercy falling. Ziggs is going to die. Shaggy taking some damage. The ult lands, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade for the side of Striking Vipers. They now find themselves with a 2-man advantage on the map. And we've got just 15 seconds till Baron will grace us with her presence. We'll see if they go to make an early play like they did last game, or if this game's going to drag out a little bit longer. That's going to be another turret falling for the side of AKVE, as all the tier 1 outer turrets are down. Now Coggle taking some damage, gets blown up. Sir Ezreal, not much he can do. Tries to trade a kill, gets it onto it. That's 2 kills. This Cassiopea is taking over the game, landing kill after kill. 2 kills over to the side of Cassiopea and a hell of a lot of damage on to the Horsies, Rell, and Hecarim. Guys, it got quiet in the chat. Give me some love. Let me know who you're rooting for. Is AKV going to be able to pull this second one out? Or do you think Striking Vipers are going to take the win? This Baron getting melted down finds itself at about half health. 18 not able to get much, has to get on out of there and use the ult. They're going to try and catch Hawkster off here, but will it be worth it? They're going to keep on working on the Baron. The Baron's going to fall over to the side of blue. However, red is in the area. That might just kill everybody in the meantime. There goes Cass. There goes Darius. Gragas trying to get it back, but he's not going to as he gets locked up and killed by Yetsu. We've only got Jhin and Thresh with the Baron buff now. Hey, there it is. Let's go, AKV. This game is hype. It's a back and forth game. Thank you, Chocobo. I love what I'm... Is it Chocobo or Chocobo? Let me know if it's a long or a short O. I could be dumb. Either way, we've still got Baron on Hawkster and Coggle. They can still get a 2-lane push if they need to and set it up correctly. They need the pressure. They've only got the top lane tier... Choco. Not Choco, Choco. I'm going to call you Choco. I don't remember what the second one is. I apologize. Either way, we've got these two teams battling it out. Dragon's going to be up in a minute. Will it be a second Drake going over the side of AKV, or will it put the side of Striking Vipers on Soul Point? That's the ult coming in from Ziggs. Does not connect. We've got damage coming out onto Shaggy. Oh! That was a hell of a shot. Censored Mercy blocking the ult, keeping Shaggy alive. But they are in no position to go and fight for this Drake. This could be Soul Point going over to the side of Striking Vipers. Shaggy going to try and get some health over here. He's not really in a position to contest. Why didn't he back and run straight to Dragon? I'll never know. Look at this setup. Striking Vipers taking over the entire bot side jungle from blue just to make sure they lock up this Drake. They've got great position. This Cassiopea, though, she is online with Leandries. She's got Seraphs. She's got Zonias. There is a hell of a lot of damage coming out of her, and it looks like she might be going into the Demonic Embrace as well. We'll have to see what she completes next, but this is going to be a hell of a game if she gets empowered. We've just got to let them go. Meanwhile, Hecarim trying to work on the Drake. You've got the bot lane pushing with Tahm Kench. We've still got Baron empowered units here. Yetsu trying to get away. Oh, that's going to be the Drake and Thresh going over. Now it's Rell that falls to the Darius kill. His ult is on reset. A lot of damage coming through. He flashes to get away. The ult lands from the Caitlyn, but it will not kill him. 18 barely trying to stay alive. You've got Seraphine that's pumping out some damage here. Shaggy going in, tries to lock up Pure Genesis, isn't able to connect and is going to take some damage, finds himself out of position. He's getting collapsed on by the Hecarim. Meanwhile, we've got a teleport coming in from Darius. Shaggy's going to try and stay alive. He smites for it. He's just running back and forth. Take the blast cone. Take the blast cone. He will fall. It's going to be Tahm Kench that licks down the Gragas and gets another kill. We now see a 3,000 gold lead in favor of the side of Striking Vipers. 3 dragons in favor of Striking Vipers. And 2 more turrets than the side of AKVE for Striking Vipers. Oh yeah, if Proofclick and I have talked. I actually played in one of his tournaments back in last November, so I know who Proofclick was before I got into the HC. But yeah, I would be totally down to duo cast with him. Our schedules never really sync up that way, but we've talked about it, and I've also casted with Zondis as well. So however it works out, I would 100% be willing to cast with him. And my throat is sore as hell from this game. They got me yelling the entire time. 25 kills to 18 in favor of Striking Vipers at just 25 minutes in. Baron buff is off everybody that had it now. It is just straight up 5v5. We've got 2 minutes till Baron is going to be on to the Rift, so I expect to see these teams get into another skirmish here or there. The hook lands. St. Ghoul going to land the stun from the Jhin. Nothing more will come of it, but at least they know they're there. And the Darius tries to get the pull on the Gromp. It's not going to connect, but that's okay. Probably for the best. do a quick State of the Union check-in. We've got this Darius still leading in gold. This Hecarim still leading in gold. We've got the Cassiopea with a big gold lead over almost everybody besides the Caitlyn, who has an even bigger gold lead. Almost 2,500 more than Caitlyn, who is at least 1,000 up on the next person. So we've got some very strong people in this game. Talk to me about win conditions. What's that look like? Right now, Striking Vipers just have to keep doing what they're doing. They've got great setups. They've got great engage. They've been putting out the damage. For me, if you're on the side of AKVE, you've got to play smarter, not harder. You've got to play to where the solo push lane's coming from. You've got to try and get picks. You've got to not go in to the Tahm, Kench, or the Rell. You've got to try and do that. Catch the Yetsu, put some damage out, and not get blown up here. They might be able to do it. No, it's going to be Condensed Mercy, then Yetsu that falls. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Hawkster running away for his life. Now we have Shaggy blowing his Zonias. 18 locks up, Pure Genesis locks up the kill. It's a 2-for-1. Coggle having to run away. They're going to go ahead and lose this top tier 2 turret. Again, really good hook onto Yetsu. I don't know if I would have taken all of that over into a 4-man fight when you don't have everybody in position yet. You've got to be more strategic about your setup. I don't know if it's comms or if it's strategy, but you've got to find a way to get your guys around the units first, then land the pole so you can collapse in. Have that Cass in position. I wouldn't be pulling the Jhin in. I would be pulling the Cass. Let her ult, stun everybody, burn people down, and let the Jhin flank in and start cleaning up some of those kills to get gold on him. That's just what I would do, but again, what do I know? Meanwhile, we've got 4,000 gold difference over the Striking Vipers, and we're gonna see Baron is up, Drake is up in 1 minute. This could be Soul for the side of Striking Vipers, but on the flip side, they might just go for Baron, and it could be the second Drake going over to the side of AKVE. We'll have to see what the strategy is, but we're gonna find out here in less than a minute, I imagine. Cassiopeia gets caught out, not able to back. She tries to use her ult. Her Zonius comes down. Nobody's there to save her. She tries to get the trade kill onto Pure Genesis, but he's going to live and take some honey fruit and get back to health. Meanwhile, they are going to go ahead and get this Baron started. It looks like AKVE is on to the plan. They see what's going on. They're riddled with indecision as they dance in the mid lane. They're going to go back towards the Drake. You've got a teleport coming in from Tahm Kench, but it's going to fall, and it's going to be wasted. Now we've got AKVE starting up the Drake. They're going to try and get their second one of the game, deny Soul. That's it. They've got it. They got to get out of there quick. You've got Hecarim. You've got Rell charging in with the Baron buff. Now they're going to just try and march on to an end. If you are the side of AKVE, you've got to come up with an answer from this team, or otherwise it is over. Baron is up. You've got no more outer turrets besides that bot tier 2. They've got nothing to take but the Nexus turret. They've got nothing to take but the base turret and the Nexus. And this is what you hope for if you're the side. If you are on the side of AKVE, this is a best case scenario. They've got Baron buff. They're not able to get a strong initial push. They got some damage onto your mid base turret, but they have to back and recall. They go for a solid reset. Items come through. The control ward's coming through now. Great vision scores on the side. I want to point that out. If you're watching the game, look at the vision scores between each team. Huge difference on the side of Striking Vipers versus the side of AKVE. Every single person has more vision out there. In some cases, double, like the ADC and the Ziggs. So Yetsu and Pure Genesis doing a great job of vision and helping control so they can track where the Gragas is, where the team's trying to rotate, and that's how they've been getting so many of these blow-ups, like that Cassiopeia play we saw at that last fight. All right, we've got a 2-2-1 split coming across the map. They're going to abandon the 2-2-1 and go for a 4-1, or maybe dance around, try and catch somebody in rotation. Either way, the last outer turret for the side of AKVE is going to fall. Now we've got everybody in position to make the final push. Baron's still up for about another minute and a half or so. They're going into it here. We've got people in every lane. It's starting to crash in. Cassiopea trying to defend the top side. We've got Rell and Caitlyn pushing in the mid. We've got Tahm in the bot and Hecarim floating around just trying to make a play. That's going to be the ult. Coming through. It does not connect as Censored Mercy will go ahead and stop it. However, they're not able to defend this bot side base turret. It will fall. The top side base turret will fall. The mid base turret is going to fall as all of the turrets fall. Now we've got damage coming on to these inhibitors. Is there anything they can do to stop this? Right now, they're dancing around, giving up their inhibs. They can't do anything. If they step too far forward, they either get caught outflanked or they lose all the inhibs. All the inhibs have fallen. We've got double super minions starting to march out of the Striking Viper's base. They're going to back and say, good job, GG. But I do want to point out one thing. In this scenario, we now have a gold and XP influx coming in to AKVE. If they can stand the storm and wait out 5 more minutes, around 36 minutes or so, if they can make it, they will find themselves with a nice chunk of gold in their pocket, a nice chunk of XP from having CS so well, and hopefully they can deny, or at least try to deny, the next Drake as it spawns here in about 1:30 on the map. Great job here clearing out vision. Going to get spotted out. Looks like they might make the charge. Cassiopea going to have to go back here. Tahm Kench a little late to the party, but he's got TP up, so he might just hop back in here in a moment. We've got a wave crashing. Bottom wave crashing. Top wave pushed out long enough that they might be able to make it work. Thresh and Shaggy trying to get the position on them, but it's not going to work. And that's going to be Hawkster getting blown up by Yetsu. It's a 4v5. The damage coming down. Nexus turrets are starting to fall. A lot of damage, and that's going to be one Nexus turret. Hecarim going in for the engage. Yetsu getting blown up. He's down. This could be the game. We've got the last fight breaking out here. Right now, it's still just 1-for-1. St. Ghoul falling. Pure Genesis going to fall. AKV has locked it up, and they got the ace on Striking Vipers. They lost both their Nexus turrets, but they could definitely stay here and fight through the minions. This is what they have to do if they want a chance here. Drake is up in 13 seconds. Nobody on the side of Striking Vipers is up for another 20 seconds. Cassiopeia looks like she's going to make a move and try and lock up Drake and get them soul point. That's what you need if you're AKVE. Very good job coming out from this blue side team to stay alive in the 9th inning. Let me hear some hype in the chat. Come on, AKV's doing a great job staying alive. They're only down 3K. They were down almost 8 at one point. That's going to be Cassiopeia. She got the Drake. They're going to be on soul point. Drakes are tied up now. This game is going to be back and forth. Baron joining the map in 7 seconds. They've got to try and withstand the storm. Is there anything AKVE can do to try and get that Baron? I don't know, but we're going to have to see, because it might be their only hope is to try and withstand the storm again. That's Baron over Striking Vipers. They've got super minions charging in. There is nothing that can stop them now unless that exact same play goes down. We've got Tahm Kench coming into the mid. All 5 members from AKVE stacking towards the top side. The crash is coming in here and now. This could be the last fight of the game, everybody. Hawkster, about half health, takes a comet shot down relatively low. The ult comes through. It does connect. Gragas is dead. Hawkster is dead. It's going to be Darius falling. That's going to be Jhin. It's a 4-for-1 trade. Cassiopeia is going to try and do what she can, but all she can do is follow up, and she will fall. That's going to be the game. AKVE will fall to the side of Striking Vipers. Let's do a quick post-game check-in and see who gets MVP. Last game, it was 18 from the side of Striking Vipers. This time, I'm going to give it to Yetsu, as he was able to lock up 19 kills and give himself almost 4,000 gold than the next closest person. My thank you goes out to both AKVE and Striking Vipers for letting me stream and shoutcast the game. GG's, both games were won by Striking Vipers. I do want to give myself another shout out. If you haven't done it yet, please hit the follow button. I do these kind of streams almost every night of the week, and if I'm not casting here, check my schedule, see where I'm at. I cast for Striking Vipers on Tuesday. I cast for the HC Hex Tech Championship over the weekends, and I also cast for Team Ambition. So check me out. I'd love to hear you and have you in here. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
It's all about humanity.